What's going on? This is Gamer Sai back with another video. Now you'll have seen on my last video, if you watched it, that I was recently at the NERG Northeast Retro Gaming Arcade and Video Game Convention. While I was there, I picked up a lot of great stuff. I've since then been away for a week in Portugal, in the beautiful city of Porto, which is why this video is a little later than the rest of the NERG videos. However, just want to show you a few things that I picked up. Enjoy. First up at NERG, you saw me speaking on, if you watched the NERG video, a guy called Kenny. Bought a good lot of stuff off him, starting with a couple of Game Boy games. We have Fortress of Fear, this is a Wizards and Warriors game, and Swiv. Loose cartridge of Outrun Europa. Loose cartridge of Dynamite Duke on Sega Mega Drive. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers on NES. And then a bunch of Famicom shooters. I got Super Xevious, how do you pronounce it? Radius, which is nice. So I've been looking for the NES game, but Famicom one works as well. A couple of boxed ones, Xed X's, and Image Fight. Now, I've heard of these ones, both really good. Exit X's is a decent little shooter with horrendous music that will do your head in very quickly. Image Fight, which I heard the name, never played it. Obviously, it's by the mighty Irem, so you know it's going to be decent. Indeed it was. Image Fight is an absolutely excellent horizontally scrolling shooter on the Famicom. So, for all of that lot, I ended up paying 25 English pounds, which I was well happy with. Now, Kenny, the same seller, had a load of Japanese games as he usually does, including a lot of Japanese PS1. So he had these marked at £2 each. He gave me the lot for £10. So I got a Mobile Suit Gundam version 2.0. That makes a difference. Crazy Ivan. Something. Don't know. It says Simple 1500 at the bottom. I haven't had a chance to play the game yet, so I don't know what it is. Just looks interesting. Tour Battle number 1. This little fighter. Another Gundam game. I did look this one up. I can't remember what it said it was called. I had a go of it. It's like a space shootery fighting thing. New Japan Pro Wrestling 2. Do like pro wrestling games. I had a go with this one already as well, and it is good. It does play a little bit like the N64 fighters or WCW vs the World on the PS1. It's got that engine. Across Digital Mission VFX. A shooter. Nice box for a Japanese game, that one. And Japanese version of Tekken. Already got Tekken, of course, but one of my favourites of all time is the Japanese version of Tekken 3, so I figured I'll get Tekken 1, and if I see it, I'll get the Japanese version of Tekken 2 as well. I'll need to replace that case though. Luckily, I've got a stack of crappy old music CDs in the loft. Next up, I bumped into Kieran from Retrotech 100, who had these two games he'd picked up whilst out thrifting in Durham. Found me Dissidia, Final Fantasy, and the original Final Fantasy, both for PSP. Look at that. 29 pence he paid for that. 29 pence. Amazing find. Anyway, thank you very much, Kieran, for bringing them out for me. I love my Final Fantasies and I love my PSP. Now, there was another seller whose name I don't know, and I did spy this, which is Tiger Heli, NES. Another shooter. Shooter's been very much a theme of NERG for me this year. He was asking originally 8 for this. I offered him 6. He said 7. And I said, well, bundle it in for 10, you got a deal. He said yes. So I also got G-Lock Air Battle on the Mega Drive, which he was asking £4 for, which is complete and in very nice condition. So I have a bit of a play of this on the Retron 5, and it's actually really good fun. Much better than I expected. This was what I was really after, Tiger Heli, but glad to pick up G-Lock as well. Lastly, I always pick up some stuff from Kev at that Retro Gamer shop from Newcastle. He had a stall there, and picked up a bunch of loose cartridges and a couple of nice PS2 games off him. On the loose cartridge side, he was asking £1 each for these, so I got Sonic Spinball, Sonic 3, The Incredible Hulk, which I was really pleased to find until I noticed it's by US Gold. I've tried it and it's not the best. And a game I have been looking for, which is Empire of Steel, sort of horizontal shooter in a very steampunk style. Played that a bit since I got it, it's quite good. Now, as well as those cheap Mega Drive loose cartridges, I did manage to get off him as well Dot Hack Infection, PS2, which is the first game in the series, in perfect condition with the additional disc. And then also Dot Hack Part 2, Mutation, again in perfect nick with the extra disc. For the lot, I paid £30 for the loose cartridges and the 2 hack games, which, considering how scarce and sought after hacks getting at the moment, consider that a really good deal. And at about £1 each for a loose Mega Drive cartridge, you're not going to complain really. These 2 are the most common of the 4 hack games if you're going to try and find them. I've seen this one a few times in CEX, but it's always in fairly rough condition. For whatever reason, the cover seems to tarnish really easy, I guess because it's white, but this one is absolutely perfect. So glad to get them, glad to give them a go. Heard a lot about them. Apparently some kind of fake simulated MMO RPG type game. Interesting, but I'll be having a look. Anyway, that were my pickups from NERG 2017. A bit late to the party because, as I said, I spent the last week in the beautiful Portuguese city of Porto. Once upon a time, Porto had a fantastic retro game shop, as shown by Adam Koralik. Fortunately, that's no longer there. The best I could find was a CEX. I did manage to pick up a few PS2 games while I was there. Nothing spectacular, but a few that I hadn't seen in my local CEXs. So I got Rebel Raiders Operation Nighthawk, €3.50. Appears to be some kind of arcade flight sim Independence Day against the aliens type job. I'm sure it'll be fun. This was the one I was quite interested in, for €3, World Wrestling Championship. Now, I love my wrestling games, huge fan of WWE, WCW, all that sort of thing, WCPW if you're local to me. So I haven't seen this one. Apparently it was released in the UK, but a quick look on CEX's website showed none in stock. So I thought I'll have a look. I'm sure it's terrible, I'm sure it is. But I do like wrestling games, so happy to pick that one up. Now, this one I have heard of. I've owned this one on Wii, but I've never found it on PlayStation 2 yet, which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Smash Up. It is a massive Smash Brothers rip-off, but it's really good fun, especially in multiplayer, as you would imagine. Loads of environmental hazards. Great fun to just beat the hell out of each other and throw someone to be eaten by a crocodile or something in the sewer. €5, this was the most expensive one I bought. Didn't help that the euro to pound ratio is currently really bad. But yeah, love the Turtles, gotta get every Turtles game. Now whilst I was there, the only other ones I got were these. It was 3 Garfield games. Garfield something, €3.50. Garfield Lasagna World Tour, €3.50. And Garfield Al Rescate de Arlene, Sounds like The Rescue of Arlene. I looked it up, the UK version was called The Search for Arlene, something like that. The Lasagna World Tour I couldn't find in the UK. It probably was released, but I couldn't find it, and this was as well. I used to love Garfield as a kid. No idea what these games are like. I'm sure they're utter rubbish, but just because I don't see them about, so I thought I'd get them. So yeah, those are my pickups in Porto. If you're going to go to Porto, don't go there for its retro games. There's very little, but go there for the absolutely fantastic people, beautiful, beautiful buildings and river, and of course the absolutely amazing port wine. I had more than my fair share of that. Now, there was a guy on the Gamers of Newcastle Facebook page, posted up a big pile of older games and just said, anyone interested in these, £1 each? I was like, yeah, I'll have some of them. So he kindly dropped them off at the pub for me yesterday, which was nice, meant I got to have a pint, talk a little bit about games. Got some really cheap games in the bargain. What I got was, firstly for the Wii, Medal of Honor Heroes 2. I played the PSP version of that. Call of Duty World at War, and Sonic and the Secret Rings. Nothing spectacular there, but for £1, who cares? Have a bit of play. Then, give me the Fallout collection on PC. I don't play a lot of PC games, but a bit intrigued by these. See, the first Fallout game I played was Fallout 3, so it's nice to have the originals, which are obviously very, very different. Interesting to have a look though. And for £1, yeah, I'll stick that on my laptop, have a bit of play. Lastly, a game I have been looking for, and that is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 on the original Xbox. Complete. Now, love the first one, so I've been looking for this, especially with the news that Xbox One is going to be backwards compatible with original Xbox games. If this is one of the games that makes it, I can expect the price to rocket. So I've been on the lookout for a reasonably priced copy. £1 doesn't get more reasonably priced than that. Great stuff, what a bargain. Cheers, man. Lastly, on a Facebook page called Galaxy Sega, which is a really cool page full of nice people trying to sort each other out with deals, not trying to take each other's eyes out. Picked up a couple of Mega Drive games, paid £30 in total for these. There's only 2 of them, so that's a little bit more than I would usually pay on a Sega game. However, what I got was Thunder Force 4, an absolutely amazing game. Very difficult, but absolutely brilliant. Probably this one or the third one, I would say, are the best in the Thunder Force series. The Mega Drive had some excellent shoot-em-ups, and this is one of the best, so I was pleased to get this. Then also, something I have been looking for a long time, is the mighty Truxton. Now, thanks to Mark at Classic Game Room, this seems to be really in demand these days. Now, I got this one, as I said, bundled along with this one for £30, which is way below market value. Reason being as well is, as you can see, this one's been stored odd, I'm guessing something like that, and it's caused sun damage. Actually, no, the sun's on that side, so I'm guessing it was like that. So yeah, anyway, the cover has been sun bleached, hence the big discount, but the instructions and manual are all in there, and the game plays absolutely fantastically. It's tough as nails, shoot 'em up. Big fan of the arcade game, which was 2-player, as I remember. Fortunately, the Mega Drive version is only 1, but it still plays brilliantly. Pleased to get this into my collection for an affordable price. So those are my recent pickups. I love getting along to conventions like NERG. Love doing a little bit of trading, a little bit of Facebook. Some great games. I'm going to really enjoy playing this next month. Hopefully I can do even better in July. What were your pickups? What were your best games? What do you think about the pickups I got? Anything good? Anything bad? Did I waste my money? Did I score gold? Let me know in the comments, that'd be brilliant. Anyway, this has been Gamer Si. Keep ahead.